Welcome to Catherine's Low Income Prepping, number 2, part B. So this is the second part of number 2. The first part was part A. And the reason I'm doing this is because they have a limited amount of time for each video they're allowing me to do at this time. So here we go. Anyhow, I was talking about Putin and the Chinese. They're both communistic empires. Putin, supposedly, the Russian Federation, is supposed to have become democratic. Well, why it may be better than it was under the Soviet Empire, it's not as good as a democratic country. Most democratic countries do ask that the presidents only run for a couple of times. And if it's a country where the president doesn't step down, we have a term for that. It's called dictatorship. Excuse me. So, the Chinese do the same thing. The Chinese are another communistic country, and Xi Jinping wants to run the country for the rest of his life. He'd like to become the leader for life. I got a feeling he will be, as long as they're going to put up with it. I think, personally, that sooner or later some of these countries are going to get smart and do something about their leaders. As we should do something about some of our leaders. Now, I didn't vote for Biden. Biden won, supposedly. I hope he really did win, and it wasn't a fixed thing like some other people have said. I actually voted for Trump. I'm not too happy about some of the things that Trump has lately done, but I also see a lot that the Democrats are doing as a witch hunt. There was no respect on the Democrat side for Trump, especially with Pelosi and Schumer. They think they're like perfect or something. I would like to see our country limit the amount of times that the senators and congressmen can run. And I would like to see their pay cut in half. They should be honored to serve as people in the military are. And we should do the things for them we do. But after a few times, maybe 4 or 5 times, maybe they should move on and we should get a new person in there, new blood, as they say. It's just, they do this for life. And they make hundreds of millions of dollars. Pelosi's worth so much money. Her husband's worth money. Schumer has multiple homes. Hey, Schumer, why don't you give some of those homes to homeless people and let them move in, and you could pay for them to live there as long as they don't do drugs and they don't mess it up. I know twice in my life I was homeless. Once when I left home when I was real young, and later when I ended up losing my home because I was moving around a lot. And I lost my job because I was injured on my job, which is one of the reasons why I'm in low income now, because I was injured on my job. But anyhow, I think these people really need a touch of reality. They make much more money than the average person in the United States. And look, we're sending all this money to Ukraine. And yes, I think Ukraine does need help. And I think we should send something there. But, hey, like I said once before, let's have one less nuclear weapon. Can't we take that money for that one nuclear weapon and maybe the government could buy all of the hotels and motels that are closing down all the time and turn them into low-income housing? Can't they buy a few more apartments and to house the homeless? I don't think anybody should be homeless in the United States. Not at all. Unless you choose to be homeless. There's nothing wrong. You have a right. The United States, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, I swore to uphold those when I was in the Army. And I swore to uphold those on my security job that I worked for, subcontracted to the government. And I promised to uphold those in other fields that I worked in. You cannot believe in the Constitution and stuff and then vote for some of these Democrats. I mean, there are a few Democrats that are okay. Now, don't get me wrong there, but I don't think I would vote for them personally. But, I mean, if they were really good people and they were really sincere, I think, that would be okay. But, and I think this Republican-Democrat thing is just two sides of the same coin. I think that the Democrats and the Republicans, they just, they think they can change all these rules and all these rights. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights says we have the right to religious freedom, whether you're going to be a Christian or whatever, Muslim, Jewish, maybe not even believe in God at all. And it also says there should be a separation of church and state. And I do believe that, because in countries where there isn't a church of state, people are forced to believe whatever the state says is the state religion. And that's kind of what happened in a couple of the countries over there in Eastern Europe, when there was ethnic cleansing, they call it. Excuse me, I got a little bit of an allergy still today. We need to have our rights here reestablished. There is a reason why the government said, back in the old days, that we should have the right to keep and bear arms. That right is so we can protect ourselves. The police only can protect you after the fact. They come and take care of you after the crime. And some places, they even try to punish you for protecting yourself, which is silly. If somebody breaks into your house, if somebody tries to steal your car, which is your possession, your dog or partner or husband or wife, whatever, could be in there, and that would endanger their life and therefore endanger your well-being. And you should be able to have the right to protect yourself and your family. Some of the laws are weird. I mean, they're letting people out for stealing $950 worth of stuff. They're letting people out for drug offenses. I say, give them a break the first time for the drug offenses. After that, tell them they're going to go to jail or they have to go in the treatment. The government should sponsor treatment, force the people to go in, and if they go back to drugs, they should go back. They should be put back in jail. It's as simple as that. It's illegal to do drugs. Now, I'm really going to get people mad at me because I'm going to talk about immigrants. Okay? First of all, we should build that wall. And we should force people to go in and out through certain portals. If the wall is not to keep people out, we should still allow immigrants to come in. But let them come in the legal way. They should go in. It's very simple. I don't know why Biden and his immigration people don't get this. But if they come in, they could check their IDs. They can run background checks on them. They could ask them why they want to come in. They could say, okay, here you go. If they say, well, I work up there, in Texas or in California, Arizona, one of the other states, and we could say, okay, well, you can apply for this work visa, fill this out. We can give them a temporary one. Say, okay, you got to show up and show proof that you're working. And we should let them go to do that. And then when they show proof, we should issue them a card. And it should have their fingerprints on it and their biometrics. And we should hold them to it. And they should pay taxes. And then they can go back to their other country on their times off and be able to come right back. I don't think we should stop them if they do it legally. And that's one of the problems I have right now because I live in Georgia. Stacey Abrams is running for governor again. That kind of upsets me because I've watched videos with her saying illegal, legal, it doesn't matter, they should be able to vote. Well, the law states that you have to be a citizen to vote for governors and councilmen and Congress and senators and stuff, House of Representatives. Come on. If you're going to run for an office, you should at least know the law of the land. I know. I would have to go learn a lot if I was to run for some type of office. But all right, now let's go back to what I'm saying. And then the people that don't pass, we could tell them to go to room A. When they go to room A, there'll be somebody sitting in there and there'll be a door and they'll push a button and a person can go out. And there's people there to escort them to a plane, and that will take them back to the country of origin. And they should fly them to that country, land them there, kick them off the plane once they've landed. I mean, be nice to these people. Give them some money. Give them some things. That way, they get compensated and they have a little bit to live with there in their country. It's much better than trying to support them on welfare, have them come here, people, especially ones that commit crimes. Now, I'm not saying everyone. I'm just saying the ones that we don't want in our country, the ones that have committed crimes, the ones that don't meet the requirements to come in under normal immigration. We can still give the ones that do pass and the ones that do work visas, and then they can become American citizens the right way. And they can stay here. We need people from other countries. We're actually losing people every day because our population is dwindling down. But anyhow, so we can solve the homeless problem by housing the homeless, not in shelters. Shelters are dangerous. Having stayed in a few, I know. Shelters are dangerous. You need to, they don't respect your rights there either. You need to be able to feel good about yourself. So if you leave, you go to a shelter, they sign you up with a program. In a few weeks, they should just have you right in to a housing situation of some type. And then maybe within a year, they'll ask you, hey, would you like to move out of this and move into a regular apartment? And we should give them an apartment. I mean, how much money do we spend taking care of people who get sick because they're on the streets? People feel despondent. They feel like their life's not going any good. The only requirement we should have is that they don't do drugs. If they don't commit crimes or do drugs, they can stay in the housing. It would be cheaper to pay for them to be there. Give them food stamps. Give them some money. They should have UBI. They should have some type of thing. We could do away with welfare programs. We could do away with Social Security, SSI, all that stuff. If we just gave everyone a flat rate of money, and then if you want to work, you can work. And then there wouldn't be unemployment, first of all. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, and I'm sorry about that. But I just really think that if we took care of the people in our country, we fed the hungry, we put shoes on the feet of people who need shoes. We clothe people so they don't have rags. We give people a place. I mean, like in Seattle where I used to live, they closed all the public bathrooms, and you go to a store and you buy a hot dog or a hamburger at the fast food place. They don't want you using the bathrooms without special permission, without having some type of purchase receipt. Same thing at Starbucks. Starbucks, that's a joke for them, you know. And I understand they don't want the rooms messed up. Well, anyhow, I'm running out of time again. So think about some of the things I've said. Please like and subscribe. Please comment. Give me your opinions. I will respond to them. And I'm sorry I had to do this in 2 videos, but I'm having a little bit of problems here with being able to get everything out I need to say. I'm going to try to do a video every day. But if I can't do one every day, it will be every other day at the latest. So enjoy this. Enjoy your life. Hug the ones you love. Tell them that you love them. Tell your family you love them. Tell your friends how much you appreciate them. Because life's not guaranteed. All right. Y'all take care. Bye.